One, and we're live. Thank you for joining. I hope I'm audible. How is it on your side? Can you tell me how it's audible on your end of the screen? Yeah. So, I'm going to make this set. Hopefully, it's well. Yeah. The point of this live stream. The point of this live stream is the fact that forcefully causing total extinction of all life is the only thing that can end all suffering. So it's the right thing we should focus on. It's the only outcome that can ensure safety for everybody. That's why you can ask me anything. You can join our progressive social justice movement. Research Proextinction linked on linktr or proextinction.com. If you can tell me also if I'm audible well, that would help. And ask me anything or join a debate right now. You can request a discussion anytime. We're also available on Abolish Suffering Discord. So, yeah, if you have any point, you can showcase it. You can confront us with your opposition or a question that can help us develop or progress towards helping anybody, everybody even in the world. Because if we can help anybody, then we must focus on helping everybody by the outcome that's realistically the most effective, causing total extinction of every life, that is. That can ensure safety for everybody. So, if you have any point, if you have any question, it's any time that's the right thing to ask. Because if you understand that forcefully causing total extinction of all life is the right thing to do as it ends all suffering, you have to be active. You have to work towards it. If you're being passive, it's like walking past, seeing someone getting raped or tortured on the street. It's being passive in face of injustice. So we have to get active to really prevent it. We have to progress the necessary scientific methods, and for that we need the necessary societal support. We need to grow the social justice movement that's pro-extinction. We have to do activism. Without activism, we cannot do anything. We wouldn't be able to achieve anything without the empathetic support. If you have any point, you can share it. You're very welcome to type in the chat, although a voice discussion would be more available as of now. I'm going to look into editing the videos we've made today with Rene, that's Suffering Abolition Deutsch Germany. On the streets today we were doing much protests as we usually were doing in these last days of activism. And you can ask us anything, however you're uncertain, you could help with. Someone's saying this is a supervillain reasoning. So you're basing your whole discovery of reality, your whole perception on what you're seeing in the movies. That's not very realistic. So we're not going to mind this opinion. We have to focus on facts. We have to focus on results. So the consequence of ending all suffering is possible by causing extinction of every life. If you can prove us wrong, that's okay. You just have to show good enough proof. You have to show up if you have a good enough point, if you have a good enough question. Am I audible well? Yeah, most of people are stupid in society. You're not focusing on the right things, just commenting things that are meaningless. And we have to focus on meaningful things that can really help anybody in the world. We have to help everybody in the world. We are not like entirely helpless animals that are majorly in the wild, but of course humans are just some minuscule 0.001% of all life in the world. So we must focus on intelligently preventing all life from suffering at any cost. That's why we have to progress towards euthanizing, putting to sleep all the potential extremely bad suffering victims, or sterilizing all the extremely dangerous environments in the wild everywhere in the cosmos as far as practically possible in the world. We don't agree with accelerationism. What does it even mean? We're not in favor of causing more suffering to end all suffering. To end all suffering, we have to cause the least suffering possible. Because it's not possible to end all suffering in life without causing total extinction. We must focus on the results that are the most optimal. We have to focus on the good outcome for everybody, for all victims, because only the victim's perspective matters. You can invite anyone to discussion. Yeah, I see you are writing in the chat some propositions of who to debate. And yes, we only care about solving all suffering. There's nothing else that matters in the world. You don't understand a single word. Maybe try researching our text website, proextinction.com. That can give more insight. There are some FAQs. There is our manifesto. I can try explaining it more if you give me context for what you mean by that. If we recognize suffering, you must recognize pleasure, and if you recognize one is inherently better. Non-existence is better than allowing rapists and getting raped. So it's the situation we're talking about. If we're going to focus on pleasure and suffering, then there's the context of, in example, someone getting pleasure out of someone else's suffering. We have to end this system. That's the only point that matters. I don't understand what you're trying to comment by that. Someone says that they think human experience is infinitely better than any suffering imaginable. What is this insane take? Someone is requesting a discussion, so I'm going to try it. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, so what I was trying to say is that if you recognize suffering and what suffering is, you also must recognize what pleasure is. Am I right?
These stimuli are very different. They're just polar opposites. So it doesn't matter if someone is experiencing pleasure when they're safe from suffering. They're never actually safe from suffering in reality. All sentient beings are in constant danger of getting tortured to death, in example. So we must ensure that no more extremely bad experiences are even a risk in this world. We must ensure safety for all. Understandable.
But you cannot ensure the risk of something if that something doesn't exist.
What do you mean? We can, in example, develop the necessary mechanical artificial methods, artificial intelligence that would be able to ensure that no more suffering left could emerge ever again after we're gone. But that's something that's up to the intelligence that can research that and ensure that the outcome of your suffering can be done. So we have to do activism for the outcome of zero suffering. That's only doing it. That's only the Proextinction social justice movement that's doing it. Do you
Right.
disagree somehow?
I disagree because when we focus on the presuppositions that you're working with, which is for example suffering, which is for example that suffering is contingent on certain things. When you say
What does
when
contingent mean?
it means that, okay, so first of all, suffering is contingent on the perception. There is no objective suffering.
So as long as experiences existed, then suffering is inevitable. The only problem is bad experience or suffering. How do we solve it without ending all life? Can you tell me that?
You're jumping to a conclusion without. No, listen. When you suffer, right? Who is suffering? You are suffering.
Anybody can suffer that is capable of it, and everybody's suffering matters. We must focus on solving the only problem in the world. So yeah.
No.
What's your point?
When you okay, so when you suffer, you are the one that's suffering. But how do you recognize that you're suffering?
It's a biological fact. You know, there are many types of suffering.
Suffering is
The
not a
fact
biological
that
fact.
a stimuli of avoiding some experiences are causing us a bad feeling. That's suffering. It's not rational. It's not something that has any greater meaning. It was made by evolution, by how our organisms,
Damage.
our
No.
ancestors were able to survive. And it's a brutal nature. It's not something that should ever exist or that should ever continue. Why should it continue?
Damage.
Why should children continue to get raped in the world?
Damage is an objective fact. It is a biological fact. Suffering is not a biological fact.
What? What are you saying? You're saying that children getting raped are not suffering, they're just damaged?
No, I'm saying they're suffering, but the suffering is because the human experiences and interprets it.
No, it does happen to animals too. You must be really not up to the scientific news if you're really trying to point this out across. We're here for the progressive discussions, so you're welcome to come up with some rational points. If anyone here has any question or argument, it's the right time to ask, because you're not going to be here forever, but you can join us later on the linktree Proextinction or proextinction.com site, where links to more contacts are available. Someone's saying in the chat, nothing is left after total extinction. How can this be a good thing? There can be no more bad experiences. That's better than allowing extreme torture to continue. Would you press the red button to ensure that there's safety forever, so that there's no more bad experiences for everybody? Or would you just let children to get raped, children to get tortured to death in this continuous cycles of brutal reproduction of the inevitable system of biological bad experiences? It's what we're facing all the time. It's the problem of everybody's suffering in this pro-life system. We have to oppose the entire system that allows it. We have to destroy the system, annihilate the biological, physical source of the problem, and not just deflect from it. Some people are saying some things that don't make any sense to me in the chat. I'm trying to read it. Some user that doesn't have a proper username is saying something I don't understand. You can maybe request a discussion. I'm going to accept some requests right now. Dr. Modern, hello. You're audible. Hello.
Yo, hello.
What's up?
My question is like, why don't you guys ever like start with yourselves? There's a very simple solution
We have
to
started.
your
You can check out our
pro-extinction.
progress on the website, our history, our development, our manifesto. There's a
No.
lot
I
that
mean,
we have done. We have
you
started,
can
man.
you can literally help your own cause by starting. You know, you can start this movement.
What
Go ahead.
activism have you done
You and
to
your
advise
friends.
us that you're a new person? Introduce yourself. How about you? What did you start to help everybody in the world? Have you made a web page? Have you started explanation videos?
No,
How did
I
you join
haven't, but I
us?
also don't argue from a position that because suffering exists, nothing should exist. So I'm suggesting you go ahead and start. Go ahead and
Why do
start
you
not
think
existing.
that children getting tortured to death should exist? Share your opinion here,
That's
please.
a fact of nature. It's a fact. You're sounding. It's like, oh, I stubbed my toe. Now I no longer want to live. Horrible.
I'm saying that no more extreme cases of bad experience should be let to happen. We should not be responsible for causing it, because as long as we're letting it happen, we're essentially causing it. Because intelligence in this system should be responsible, don't you think? I'm going to accept some more discussion. My mic has broken, I think, but I'll try more. Anyways, that one guy has left, so I'm not going to request this. Argo. Hello, Argo.
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, so you want people to like every living person with a consciousness and an experience, you want them to be like gone and not live anymore, right?
We don't want. We just work towards the outcome of ensuring safety for everybody, and if it's possible by causing total extinction, we must support that.
Okay,
Can
well,
you
that's
prove how we
interesting.
can ensure safety for all without causing total extinction?
Well, yeah, I would say that's impossible, but at the same time, we would argue that we like to be alive, and even if we suffer in during our life, it's worth it. That's why we don't want that
Well,
badly.
it's really sadistic that you're saying that because we like something it doesn't mean we should ensure we should let someone else to get tortured to death for it. Or do you support that still?
Yeah, everyone has a choice of what what they can do or can do, but
No,
I'd say,
we don't have a choice. It's not even physically realistic to be able to make any choices. We're just determined by our environment and our genes. It's not something that we can even choose the course of. It's just what evolution led us to do. So when you're not rational enough, you're not going to understand that ending all suffering is the only thing that matters. Intelligence must be pro-extinction, because there's nothing else that can prove ending all suffering. Hello X, if you're here, I'm putting you to discussion.
Hello.
Hi.
I have a question for you. How do you see this total extinction? Like, how do you foresee it? Do you think nuclear weapons? What
No,
do you suggest should happen?
nuclear power is proven to not be able to extinct all life, and even if it was able to make sure that no more life is going to re-emerge on Earth, there are physically found components of life possible to emerge into evolving, suffering organisms that were from far away on asteroids that landed or have been found
No, but
by
I'm
humanity
asking you,
already. So
what do you suggest is the ideal way for total extinction? I'm asking you, like, is there
the
a
most
method?
vast, yes, I'm saying it's the most vast and thorough extinction possible. Firstly, we have to ensure that suffering is never going to come back. Secondly, we have to make it the most fast as possible so that sufferers are not going to be prolonged in their misery. And thirdly, it can be painless.
Okay, okay, sure. So my question to you is, shouldn't we ought to stop suffering by creating drugs to cure diseases and stop these criminals and going after criminals? And like,
It's
why
already
do you
happening.
resort to?
You're not
Okay,
presenting any
so
change by the saying that. If you're saying we
yeah,
should just focus on what has been fallible, it doesn't make any progress here. So
yeah.
thanks
So
for
there's been
giving
many.
out your opinion.
There's been a lot of progress in fighting diseases. There's been recent cures in type 1 diabetes. Um, there's a lot of advancements in medical practices that are stopping suffering. Sickle cell disease has
What about
been
animals?
cured. The first
What
person with
about
sickle.
that?
I
When you're
know, but
just improving
yeah, but it
humans'
takes
good
time.
lives,
It takes
then
time. The thing is, it's like curing disease takes time. Like
what about
stopping suffering takes
the
time.
empathy? What about the
Empathy.
empathy of humans you're trying to help? Are they going to help the wild animals against getting the extreme diseases that you're getting sheltered from, against getting
Yeah.
torn apart alive by predators where you escaped from into cities? Where's your empathy
Yeah.
for everybody?
So
That
of
matters.
course we have empathy, but we can't solve all the world's problems instantly. The
We
solution
can.
isn't to
That's
just
why.
destroy the world. The solution
No,
is
it is. It is the solution. We have to destroy the system that allows the bad experiences. We have to focus on the source of the problem. We cannot deflect forever. We cannot just be focused on well, your own little deflections from what's really going on in the world. Someone's asking, are we vegan? Do we donate to children in need? It's not the right cause we should focus on. We can of course donate to the outcome of causing total extinction by our resources any way we can. That's why we must focus on the pro-extinction social justice movement. It's the only one that's having the goal of causing total eradication of all suffering, ensuring total safety. Thank you for liking the live stream. Maybe you could invite I'm talking to the potentially helpful followers or viewers to maybe share their live stream with someone who can have a potentially good question or debate. I see I haven't been looking into to the queue a lot, so now I'm going to accept some discussion. Thank you. Someone called Forever Dreaming. Hello, Forever Dreaming.
Hello.
Hi.
I was the one who posed that question. Like, are you vegan or do you do these sort of steps to reduce suffering?
It
I don't
doesn't
understand.
reduce suffering. That's the point why we're not focusing on it. Anything you can do in life, it doesn't really end suffering. It can transfer it to another group. Look at an example of veganism when you're leaving more land into wildlife by using less human-made exploitation, then you're allowing and essentially causing more suffering to wild animals, them getting ripped apart alive, getting eaten alive, getting tortured by diseases to slow, painful, natural death. It's not really worth to transfer suffering to them. We have to ensure safety for all by causing total extinction to ensure safety forever, for everybody.
I think that the amount of pigs that have been killed in last year were like 400 billion or some truly absurd number. If that was like reduced to like natural living, where like animals were just killing each other, there would be substantially less, billions of less animals that would be killed. So I think that you should have some pretty reasonable motivation to become vegan, at least.
What? It's the opposite of what's the fact, really. Because
Hundreds of billions of animals would not have been born if you become vegan. And everyone in the
hundreds
planet
of
becomes
billions of
vegan.
animals do exist right now in the wild. And it's more, it's actually trillions of wild animals. We have to focus on the bigger picture of everybody's suffering, not only of some that you think are before your eyes. It's
If you
not
truly have that
really the
opinion-
reality you're taking into consideration.
If you truly have that opinion that all life should
not
be
an opinion.
reduced, okay, if you truly understand the truth of the matter is that all life should be extinct to reduce the amount of suffering that they have, then I think that it's very reasonable to understand that the amount of animals that would be born through the production of meat is so much higher than if you allowed it to be quote unquote like natural living where like animals kill each other.
Nope.
Hundreds of billions
It's
of
not a
animals
fact.
would
You
be
can
born.
check out the statistics that are really true, really researched by the actual organization that are focusing on it, which I'm not going to look into the specific details right now. You can check it in your own time
There's
on
no
the
way that you're contesting
proextinction.com
this.
site FAQs, because it's not the priority. We just must focus on preventing everybody's suffering. It doesn't
No, I
matter
think
who
you
the
just want to be
victim is or
comfortable in
where
your own
they
life.
live.
I think you don't want to suffer and you don't want to become vegan because it's harder for you. I think that the real answer is that you should become vegan and you should donate to children who are suffering.
You're saying
If
that
you
we
really
should
think that,
focus
if you
on
really care
just
about
a small
suffering, man,
group of
if
victims
you really
instead
care
of
about suffering,
everybody
you're not
suffering.
going to ignore these like actual issues. All
We're
right, you're a
not going to
coward. You're
ignore-
actually a coward.
We're not going to ignore anyone's issues. That's
No,
why
you're a
we
coward,
must
all right?
focus on
Do
solving
things that are actually
everybody's
important in
suffering.
life or get
If you're
off
not
the
working towards extinction for every potential victim, you're just allowing it to happen. You're just being the causation of their suffering, essentially. So, some more questions have appeared in the chat. Someone is requesting a discussion. Viper WT. Hello.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Decent. How are you?
I'm good. Yo, I came here to say you would look good with the low taper head, bro. Okay.
Come again?
You would look good with a low taper head.
I don't understand. Do you have a question towards the point of this live stream?
Yeah, what is this live stream about? Only right thing to do as end all suffering, forcefully causing total extinction. What, you want to nuke the planet?
No, it's not about doing any irrational, rash actions that would not really end all suffering. The outcome of ending all suffering means ending all life. What else? What do you think can solve all the only problem in the world?
If you want to kill all bugs, I'm down for it, bro. If you want to kill the bugs, like all the bugs in the
No,
in the
we're
planet,
not discriminating against any group. We should not leave anyone at the risk of extreme suffering ever. So we must work towards ensuring their safety for all. as soon
So,
as
so,
possible, but first the most effectively possible.
so like, if some kid in India is suffering and struggling to get food, we should just shoot him in the head.
No, we're not in favor of individual acts of violence, of course, which doesn't solve anything. Hello, Adam. Oh, they left. Okay. Let's see. That one
Hey.
guy too.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear
Oh,
me?
Adam joined both people. Sorry, that one. I'm going to disconnect you for a bit. Hello, Adam. What's up?
Yeah, what's up? Do you think it's something that should be done, like forcefully causing total extinction?
It's factually the only right thing to do, as it ends all suffering.
Okay.
What do you think?
Can you provide an argument for this, like, utilitarian understanding of good and bad?
What? I don't know what you mean by utilitarian, but the only bad
So why
thing in
is
the world is suffering, and of course, ending all suffering is good.
So why is suffering bad?
But experience means suffering. So, in example, if you were,
I know what suffering is, but why are you presupposing
really,
that suffering
do you
is
really
bad?
know what suffering is when you're saying that we should not desperately work towards the most effective extinction for every life, so that we can ensure that no more children are going to get extremely tortured to death?
Okay, why do you think suffering is inherently bad? Why do you think that?
What do you mean inherently bad?
Well, you're saying that suffering is bad, and since suffering is bad, we should eliminate it entirely, right?
Yeah. We must ensure that it's not going to be the risk for everybody in the world, because everybody's suffering matters. So, bad experience such as starvation, predation, torture.
Okay, well, I just want to know, why is suffering bad to begin with? Why do you think suffering's bad?
It's not about what we think. It's just the biological fact that as long as sentient beings are going to exist, then everything we want to avoid, we need to avoid. The only bad thing in the world is going to be the problem to solve, and intelligence is necessary. The pro-extinction intelligence is the only one that's working towards preventing everything that's bad, ending all suffering. We have some more guests. Hello, that one guy too. Number 2. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay.
Do you believe morality is objective or subjective?
What do you mean morality?
I mean, what's right, what's wrong?
It's objective. Yeah, of course it's objective. It's the only true thing that forcefully causing total extinction of all life is the only outcome that can end all suffering, that can make bad go away forever.
Well, I find it interesting that you claim it's obviously objective, because I've actually spoken to other people in your movement who seem quite mixed on this. Some people seem to believe it's subjective, others objective. But nevertheless, I'm going to ask you, how do you ground objective morality?
What?
How do you ground?
We just focus on ending all
morality?
suffering by results, by the civic method, by growing the social justice support.
So
That's all that
what
matters.
I'm hearing is you have no argument, and this is why you kicked the other 3 people as well. You're a coward. You have no
I'm not
argument for
trying
your
to argue.
position, and you
I'm
should
just
learn
stating facts.
basic
If you have
terminology. This isn't a fact. You haven't grounded
any-
morality objectively. You are a coward. That's objective. You've kicked the last 3
Thanks.
people immediately.
I don't care about that, really. We don't care about any philosophical discussions. Just relevant contents about forcefully ending all suffering. It's all that matters. So, I'm going to accept more guests now to give you more time, as I have a little time. Someone without a name. Hello.
Yo. Okay,
Hi.
so
What's up?
it says debate me at the top, but you won't hear out other people's arguments, and you're saying you're not trying to give an argument, and you don't understand basic terminology. You're trying to have a debate, but you don't know what morality is. You don't know what makes morality objective.
I'm not trying to debate for nothing, like you're coming up with meaningless terms. We're just here
Meaningless
to focus on
terms.
ending all suffering at any cost. So the only right thing to do is to work towards ending all suffering at any cost by total extinction. We must progress the necessary social justice, support the pro-extinction social justice
Yeah, but
movement,
not everybody.
pro-extinction.
Yeah, but not everybody is calling for that. You're making the presupposition that this is a debate
Not
about
everybody
how
has
we
to.
get to there. Not everybody in here believes that we need to end all suffering, and that the best
It's
means
not a
of that.
belief. They just don't understand. If you don't
No,
understand that we need to end all
you're
suffering, this just
you're
makes
making
you
the
disabled.
presupposition that there's no other viewpoints here, and that everybody here is going to be trying to find the best solution, and everybody here is going to agree with you. And you don't understand basic terminology.
Not
Like 4
everybody has
times
to
I've heard
agree.
you go,
That's
"What the heck is morality?" You
obvious.
don't even know what
That's
morality
obvious. Not
is.
everybody's going to agree. We don't have to get everybody's consent or
Can you define
everybody's input
morality?
to just do the right thing. We have to just help everybody. Intervene when someone is suffering. What's
Oh,
your
so can
argument? What's
you?
your question?
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, but why do we need to get rid of everybody? You think just
Realistically, it's the
yeah.
only
So
solution.
okay. So you think because suffering exists that means that we need to end our suffering by getting rid of everybody on the planet?
Not on
Who
the
is calling
planet.
for that?
Yeah, I think I had one more discussion probably. Maybe I'll review the comments right now. Someone agrees with me. That's what atheists should conclude. Not hopelessness. It's just facts and result of helping everybody by progressing the necessary science, developing the pro-extinction social justice support. There's things I was reviewing here. We didn't start alone, we just got supported by our environment and the genes to be able to understand the facts about reality, and then activism came naturally. Hello again, Dr. Modern.
Hello. If I forcefully ended your suffering, would that be morally right for me to do?
It's about preventing the greater suffering. I'm
Yes,
not
you
the
would
one
no
that's
longer be
suffering in the world.
suffering.
I'm not
Yes.
the only person in
No,
the world.
no,
We're just
you are
over
making this
focusing on
decision for
irrelevant things. Yeah. We have to focus on helping the greater sufferers. That's only the priority. That's the greatest problem in the world. If everybody can be prevented from suffering, then we must focus on it. Then the pro-extinction social justice movement can turn out to be helpful. We have to focus on it by the necessary research, the social justice support, do activism, and in the end, science might come out to be helpful, turn out to be something useful in the world. So you can discuss, debate, discover, decide. Although there's really no free choice, there's no free will. We're just determined by our neurobiological environments. I'm reading the chat right now. Someone called Cabbage had a few questions. Maybe you can come up still. I can try to invite you again, I guess. Hello, Zamasu, if you're here. Still. Maybe you could join. No, I'm gonna retrieve from...
Oh, brother, I don't think you understand how much disgust I have for a person like you. You are
Focusing
probably
on
one of the most
ending
disgusting
suffering.
people. That's your moral high ground that you supposedly think that you are standing on. But you're too much
No?
of a coward to admit that. You're saying that all beings exist in suffering, and since suffering
Nope.
existence, forcefully causing total extinction of all life is the only
Yeah.
right thing to do, as it ends all suffering. So quit trying to be mealy-mouthed and kind of worm around what it is that you are saying. But you're too much of a coward
You're just making bad assumptions that are irrelevant and really not realistic. You were saying something that we're discriminating or that we're not realistic here. But progressing the social justice movement to end all suffering is the only thing that's good in the world. It's the only thing that can turn out to be helpful. If you have any point that can prove we can help everybody by other means, we're really willing to listen and work with you. Here and everywhere by the movement we're growing. You can join also the Abolish Suffering Discord. Research the Proextinction.com by the Proextinction.com site. Yeah, there are some people that could maybe have a helpful discussion with us. And we're going to let you review the live stream after it's done on the Proextinction Universal YouTube. I'm going to type it in the chat later. No more requests right now, but I'm inviting you to request a discussion first if you are able to. Also, you can start other activism anyway. There are more suggestions on the roles on the Abolish Suffering Discord, and we're going to make a video about it with Helene, that's Suffering Abolition DE, Deutsch, German. That's going to be uploaded soon about what we can do, how to progress towards the total abolition of suffering. Yeah, more people can join a discussion. More new people I see. This person too. This. And, this. This and this and this and this and this and this. Yeah. Yes, I'm going to get back to reading the chat. Thank you for liking the live stream, anyone from the viewers. If you're able to, that would be great if you'd invite some potential discussion, because I'm not willing to be here all the evening. I'm going to work on more stuff, potentially editing some videos from the interviews we took in the city today and yesterday and before, and doing more moderation work, organization stuff for our pro-extinction social justice movement progress. Hello, Lara. If you're still here, it's okay if you can't join the discussion right now. It would be very cool if you'd invite more potential discussion here. Maybe I'm going to be here for up to half an hour yet. Someone's asking why are we running this live stream? It's to gather more potential support for the only social justice movement that's working towards preventing the only bad thing in the world. So we must support the outcome of causing zero suffering at any cost. We must do whatever it takes. And creating discussions, online outreach, doing interviews, doing any kind of activism that can support the logic, the true methods towards ending all suffering by the scientific progress, development, analysis, then that's what matters. We must focus on really ending all suffering. That's what the pro-extinction movement is formed for. Thank you, Shroom the Quiet. Obligator, maybe you can join a discussion. I don't know what you're trying to say. I don't see any point with arguing without proving that you can really prevent any suffering in the world without forcefully causing total extinction of all life to end all suffering. Because everybody's suffering is the only thing that matters, that's worth minding, so we must focus on it. That's the only thing that matters. You cannot prove us otherwise on that fact. It's just the basic ground in reality. We're not miserable. The activists from the pro-extinction movement are mostly from empathy, from logic, from understanding reality. We're not doing this out of emotion. Yes, life is the real terrorism. The system of life is the greatest oppression of all time. The pro-life enabling the continuation of everybody's suffering, they're in favor of letting suffering happen instead of working for total eradication of suffering at any cost. The inverted logic is the definition of sickness. Why? Ben Zamasu, maybe you could join a discussion too. We could progress some questions or ideas for activism, or you have arguments that we can discuss about, debate. Someone is saying, go ahead. Well, good new global warming is drastically reducing the Earth carrying population to 2 billion. No, it's not good at all. It's not good to reduce the only potential intelligence towards ending all suffering, because the only outcome of zero suffering can be ensured by total extinction, and then we cannot wait for it to happen by some natural rock falling down without some intervention that intelligence can understand, that can help everybody. The intelligence being useful by working towards scientifically causing sterilization of all the dangerous environments, or putting everybody to sleep. You don't see a request button? I'm going to invite you directly. I hope this live stream is going to be reusable after it's going to get posted on Proextinction Universal. You can write this down. Maybe I'll type it in the chat now. There are some live streams that have been uploaded there already. Hello, 3301 every.
Hello.
Hi. What do you think?
I understand you. If I would be as chopped as you, I would also kill everybody. Because you're very chopped. I don't know.
I don't understand what that means, but we're not about killing everybody out of any irrational reason or just delusional emotions. Yeah. Hello, Lane. Maybe you could join discussion for asking some questions. Debate? Yes. Let's do a debate.
Yo, what's good? So I just got a few questions. What is the whole cause about forcefully causing total extinction of all life? Isn't this like the problem is it ends all suffering, but it causes a new problem. It causes
What's
suffering.
there?
The first problem is it causes suffering while trying to get rid of suffering is the first problem.
So, prolonging life is the only thing that's causing suffering. It's the
Yeah, but forcefully
basic
taking
fact.
life away
Basic
also
math.
causes like
Nope. When there's no more life, there's no more suffering.
okay,
What
then
can
how
you prove that can ensure there's no more suffering after there's without causing all life to go extinct? How can you
Okay,
prove?
then can you please then how do you wanna forcefully take all life away? How would you try to
At
do
any
that?
cost. Really, it's realistically possible by developing activist social justice support for the methods, possibly by euthanizing all the sufferers or sterilizing all the dangerous environments.
But no, how do you wanna get rid of all suffering? Like since the humans are the cause of suffering, every human's gonna suffer either way. So how would you gonna get rid of them? Would you just wanna kill them, or how would you try to do that?
Humans are not the cause of suffering. Humans
we
are the
are.
only possible help for the sufferers. That
Martin
majority are
Heidegger is
wild
a great
animals.
philosopher who talked about it. He talked about it that humans
No.
are the great cause of suffering. A
There
lot of
are no great
philosophers talk about it.
philosophers. They
Yes.
help no one. You're just
I
trying to
need
deflect from
help?
the topic of realistically trying to help everybody in the world.
Oh
That's
no.
potentially all life that's going to keep on reproducing, getting tortured to death, getting forced into this pro-life system. It's the only problem to solve. Everybody's suffering. We cannot focus on any irrational deflections when we can focus on activism, working towards helping everybody.
But the problem is you can never help everybody. It will still prolong because we humans are the cause of suffering. We are the cause of
Prove
suffering
it.
and will never change. It can't change.
Nope.
It cannot simply change. How do you want to change it?
It cannot change without causing extinction of every life, of course, because it's built into the biological system of life,
Wait,
into
I'm
experiences,
so sorry
into
for interrupting.
animals.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but could you let Freaky Napoleon on? He's a good friend of mine. I know him. He's a debater. He does this like he said he had an argument as well.
Thank you for coming up, letting
Yeah,
us
no
know your
problem. I just wanna
questions. You can let us know in the chat maybe, or review this video after it's posted later on the Proextinction Universal, which I'm going to type in the chat right now and accept the debate soon. Hello, Alien Babe. Someone of this username. You're very welcome to potentially ask any questions or arguments, share them in the chat, or request a discussion. Someone called Napoleon.
Hello, it's me.
Hi.
Lane wants me to get on here. Anyways, so can you first tell me your premises on why you think suffering should end whatsoever? As if it's
Suffering
not
is
simply
bad. Experiencing something that needs to be avoided, that is unacceptable to be experienced, getting tortured, in example, we must help in avoiding it at any cost.
Well, except suffering is natural part of life, along with the
Yes,
pleasure.
as long as life
Balance
exists, it follows. We must prevent it at any cost.
Yes, we must prevent it at any cost, but it does not need to happen by extinction, but
Why?
by simply advancing through technological means as to
Yes,
prevent
it's
the
possible
suffering
only by
further.
extinction then. We have to progress socially by the pro-extinction activist support, by having the right morals towards ending suffering at any cost, and then the scientific method.
Well, yeah, but I do not get. I said that by we should end it by scientific means, by means of progress, but I meant not technological progress as in Proextinction, which is pretty much your point. I am talking about like technological progress as in creating more commodities which would prevent suffering, and by universal things such as healthcare, etc., we could also prevent.
What you're suggesting doesn't include helping everybody. You're suggesting only focusing on the humans because animals are not available to be directly helped or really get any help in the wild everywhere in the cosmos, really, because sufferers can emerge from biological components not only on Earth. So we cannot reach everybody to help anybody without causing total eradication of suffering and causing extinction in result.
Okay, but we can help animals on Earth, right? By technological progress and the means of creating artificial means of production when it comes for food, etc., and other means of consumption. We do not need to kill animals anymore, which would help them.
So how will you make all mosquitoes not drink blood anymore, not share extremely bad diseases without all
by creating
the
something,
organisms that are extremely at risk of suffering?
That would replace their need of blood in favor of like separating them from the natural environment, and in favor
of just going to catch all the mosquitoes and ensure that all the environments are sterile, so that there can be what? For what are you going to make all these efforts without causing extinction of every life?
What? I just said that we could separate mosquitoes along with other let's say species of animals, and in favor of that we could might as well just wait. What was I saying?
Might as well sterilize all the environment so that no more suffering can emerge from life. Therefore, no life can exist in sterile environments. So you're suggesting we should cause extinction?
I'm not suggesting extinction. I'm suggesting separating mosquitoes from other animals in favor of artificial barriers or something like that, depending on the progress of a certain.
So then the problem of natural diseases caused by your biological bodies of animals, in example, because there's still the majority of lives. When you get rid of mosquitoes, there are going to be other issues. In example, getting starved to death, getting tortured, suffocated to death. How can you end it ever?
Well, but so why would a guy get tortured in, let's say, a perfectly functioning society with no crime, let's say? That's the point. You also suggesting a Proextinction and not actually...
It's the system we're living in. We must ensure it at any cost or let it happen. You want to sustain the system, so you're in favor of causing all the suffering effectively.
I do not want to... I said by the means of progress we should eliminate all hardline suffering, not all suffering whatsoever. I said that suffering does not need to exist in a hardline form, but can be reduced to the point it's not noticeable at most of the time.
So you're not really working towards ending all suffering, just reducing it to some point. What point is that? Are you saying that some children should continue to get tortured to death?
Overcome suffering when it comes for their value and their noticeability, which that, for example, labor in the future should not be done by the means of laborers, but the means of whatever shall emerge pretty much to be an alternative for the laborers, which should eliminate.
So you're not saying there's any alternative, you're just saying others should come up with this solution to this problem and not solve all problems. Thanks for sharing your 11
one major problem is fixing one major point of suffering, so fixing and
everybody's suffering matters still. You're just going on about some overfixation that's not going to help anyone. We should help everybody. Hello, SOG.
Yo.
What's up?
Why do you want to end all suffering?
Suffering is bad. Letting someone to get tortured to death is equally bad.
Oh yeah, but why do you think it's bad? Do you think it's bad because it causes death, or do you think it's bad enough?
It's a fact. Suffering is a bad experience. Are you going to put an argument out there, or just going on in circles?
I'm not going in circles. I think suffering can actually be a good thing.
Why is causing someone to get raped to death something that's not bad?
That's not what I said.
You're saying it's a good thing?
I said it can be a good thing. I didn't say it was a good thing in all cases. So
present why it's a good thing? What's the
oh,
reason why a child gets tortured to death?
that's not what I said either.
Say
Why do
it.
you keep adding these things I've
What's your
never said?
point? Say, what's
Yeah.
the point? What did you come
Okay,
here to say?
that's definitely not my point.
For
Yeah, so suffering can be motivation for people to act.
why should people act upon on top of causing suffering? Please let me know in the chat. I have no more patience for this, really. Okay, I think maybe I could collaborate with some more activists, maybe if they are willing to practice discussion yet, or focus on other tasks that are to do for the movement, unless there's going to be some really good debate yet, some really useful point or question. I'm really open to having a discussion that's really going to be productive. I hope I'm audible well. Present your reasoning, please. Yeah, we need suffering so we can do something about suffering. That was the point they made. Yeah, exactly. Really going on in circles. That's so maddening. I can't stay in this hell. I have to focus on something productive. Yeah, everybody should present evidence when making a proposition for helping, or something that we should focus on has to have realistic effects of helping that can be proven by the scientific method. Counter you. You can request a discussion, JAK. I'm inviting you to discuss. Maybe Other Existence could join a live stream. You gave your point. Where? Thanks. I appreciate this, Zips Up the Wise. I think it's going to come in helpful after I'll be able to boost some videos that were made sooner or later. The funds are really helpful. I think we're going to present more of our financial supportive goals that we're having with our movement at the Abolish Suffering Discord. You can research it, join it, and help us progress, develop more. Right now, I'm going to stay here for some more time because there's not much available Wi-Fi after some 2 hours, I think. So I'm going to do the best I can in this time when I can be on the internet today. So please present your activism ideas. What do you think we should focus on? And we're going to judge what is really helpful, what can really progress the outcome of causing zero suffering for all. We're not going to fund any weapons or irrational kind of actions. We're just going to progress our peaceful social justice movement, the Proextinction movement, do all types of content ranging from street interviews to offline protests that are going to be live streamed, to progressing our organization and our gathering of resources, our data, our artificial intelligence, our scientific research. Someone is asking we should focus on fixing problems rather than kill all life. This is such an idiotic point. Yeah, you're saying such a point. The ending all suffering at any cost is something you deem to be idiotic. It says more about you, that you're not willing to help anybody at the realistic cost that's providing euthanasia for all, that's ensuring no more environments are going to sustain the dangerous conditions that can enable life to extremely suffer. We're against antinatalism because humanity is the only known intelligence that can help towards progressing towards total eradication of suffering, ensuring the safety for all life by sterilizing all the dangerous environments and putting to sleep all the potential victims. Zero suffering is wrong. Someone is commenting. Thank you, troll. Hello, Doggo Picture.
It's okay if I talk
You're
now.
audible. What's up?
What's up? Just want to make sure your point is that you want the full extinction of all life, correct?
Nope.
That's not your
It's a
point?
fact.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Forcefully
I
causing
probably...
total extinction of all life is the only thing that can end all suffering.
Oh yes, absolutely. If all life was gone, suffering comes from life, and suffering is acknowledged from life. If all life is gone, then nothing will suffer. Absolutely. It's just the only thing is we cannot provide that mass extinction, obviously, because life itself strives to survive. So, and not only that, what's the majority of life? What's up?
So you're saying that because of majority of irrational animals are feeling that they fear death too much, it's something that we should not work towards helping them achieve. It's
Not
just
fear.
wrong.
Not
We
fear,
should be responsible for them. We should just not throw away baby with the bathwater. We should just work towards realistically delivering the necessary euthanasia for every life.
No, I'm sorry. Your accent's very thick for me. I'm sorry. Can you just repeat a few points that you pointed out?
We should not focus on irrational. Sorry, I'm having some distractions right now. So we must just focus on ending all suffering at any cost, and when it's possible by causing total extinction, that's what matters. Preventing the greater bad. What was your point again?
Sorry, my brother just walked in my room. But yeah. Oh man, I wasn't listening because he walked in. I'm so sorry. Can we do this another time? I'm kind of busy now.
Bye.
All right, thank you for letting.
Hello, Kens. Do you have a question? Maybe, perhaps you could type it in the chat too. Hi. What's up, Kens? C-A-N-S-E. Are you there? I'm not hearing you well. I'm going to disconnect you right now, sorry. So, if any of you have any questions or arguments, you can present them. That's the last chance right now, or in the comments. We're going to upload more videos that are going to get edited from the activism we've made on the streets lately. You can follow it for more insight. More frequently asked questions also are available on the site proextinction.com. And if there will be no more requests in the next minute, I'm going to end today's live stream. Thank you for being here, everyone. That's really... Oh, hello. Louis Green is... I'm going to accept that discussion from them.
What's going on, Mick?
Decent, how are you?
Yeah, so is this... I just want to clarify, is this not rage bait? Like, this is a belief that you actually
It's
have?
serious. It's the fact.
Well, how is it the fact? Go on, explain.
Because the point of ending all suffering is realistically possible by ending all life, that's why we must focus on it. We must develop the activist support and, in the end, the scientific methods that can ensure the total safety. Zero suffering for all.
Well, that includes you though too, right? That's like,
Yes.
well, you said extinction of all life, so that's like you're dying as well, correct?
Yeah. So.
But like, why? But like, you gotta want to live, no? Like, what's? Like, this seems very dark, you know. Like,
being
why
in
would
favor
you
of prolonging everyone's suffering, it would just have to be sadistic or irrelevant to really helping anybody, because we cannot focus on ourselves when there's suffering going on.
Well, yeah, of course, but like, surely if everyone, like you said, extincts or whatever, dies, whatever, how you want to say it, you know, surely that's suffering in itself, no? Like you say, it ends all suffering, but it's going to cause
Total extinction doesn't cause suffering. It's the outcome of no more suffering. Is there any other outcome that can ensure no more suffering?
Well, I mean, not that I can think of, but I don't think this, in any way or shape or form, would be the correct way to do that. Because, like, it's just... There's no practical way, like, why?
No, there is. We have to support it by the social justice progress, and the scientific methods are very potential. We can sterilize all the dangerous environments or deliver euthanasia for every life. It's very much possible. There are many scientific theories that support that. You can read into it more of our resources, more of our manifesto details on the site that we're gathering activists to progress with us, develop the societal necessary progress towards the outcome of zero suffering. Thank you for coming here. I'm going to put up another guest and end the live stream soon. Live stream soon. Hello, Dom.
Hello.
Hi, what's up?
So, you believe that the solution to end all suffering is to commit a mass genocide on the entire population?
Nope. You haven't read the background, I suppose. We mean the Proextinction social justice movement means the result of no more suffering for all life, ensuring safety for all, causing zero suffering in the end. That's by total extinction.
And like I said, a total genocide, you say total extinction
Nope.
of all life, which is
We're
a murder
against race discrimination. We're not going to just listen to you saying that we're something that we're not. Okay, I'm going to read the chat right now. What do you mean, the mustache man? Do you have some idea for activism? Are you pro-extinction? No, you're not. Some irrelevant comments. Can we define pro-extinction? So, the pro-extinction social justice movement means being in favor of total eradication of suffering at any cost by the realistic methods, by supporting necessary activism, by society's artificial and human intelligence, and needed science for it. The outcome of zero suffering is possible. You can prove it by the scientific method, and it's on the pro-extinction movement side. There's really nothing that has been ever proven that can help anybody without causing all life. There's no proof, there's no potential solution, there's no probable way to help anyone. The only way to end all human suffering is to better one's life. Everyone needs to fix their morals. Nope, of course humans are not that influential to just when they fix their mind somehow by whatever method you are trying to imagine, then any suffering is not going to really be stopped. The extreme diseases, the extreme torture, suffocation, rape, torture to death by suffering, that's inevitable in life as long as animal life or just sentient beings are going to exist in the cosmos. Okay. I think it's time to end this live stream. Thank you for coming up, everyone. I'm going to leave the comment in of the name of this account on YouTube that is this live stream is going to be posted on. It's called Proextinction Universal. Thank you, Shroomdiquat. You're very welcome to rewatch this or add more suggestions on how we can improve. Join our Abolish Suffering Discord to grow the social justice movement with us, progress the necessary support towards intervening to really end all sufferers' potential misery prolongation, to really prevent the greater suffering in the world. Yeah. We need funds for the better equipment too. We're going to look into it. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. We have to progress any way we can.